headache relief involves using your block to put pressure on different spots on your head. So we can start in a child's pose where you'll put your big toes together and the knees are open. And then you can set your block here on the medium height. And we're gonna rest our forehead on the block instead of bringing our head all the way to the floor. So you can kind of just prop down onto your elbows and then rest the center of your forehead. I just put mine kind of like right on the edge of the block, right above the bridge of my nose, right on that kind of between the eyebrows spot. Take a big breath there. If it doesn't feel good, you can tuck your head a little, move your head, move the block so that it's, it's putting pressure on a place that feels okay to you. You could even rock your head side to side a little to massage that spot, or not, or just stay still. So this type of a move is good for releasing tension headaches, but it's also good for releasing sinus pressure, allergy stuff. Take a few more breaths. Maybe the eyes are closed. We'll breathe in and out through the nose. And then come up to all fours. We're going to do a downward dog with our head propped up on the block in a similar fashion, but instead of it being at the bridge of the nose, kind of between the eyebrows area, it'll be right up at the hairline, so a little further back on the forehead. So I'm going to prop myself up into a down dog without worrying about the block, just get into my regular old downward dog. And once I've really stretched into my down dog and I let my head hang down, then I want to move the block to where my head is. So I'm going to put my block higher and I'm going to move it towards me. And I think that might be, yeah, that's where my head is. So you're not putting your head to where the block should be. It's like you move the block to you. Does that make sense? You should be in a good down dog. And then you move the block to suit your head, wherever your head is. You might need to take a little longer down dog so your head can be low enough to get to the block. Sometimes if your down dog is too short, your head will be up high. So you might need to lengthen your down dog. That's what I do to get my head to lower down onto that block. And again, I'm resting right where my hairline is, where the forehead meets the hairline. Press through the arms, press through the thighs, lengthen the back, and take some deep breaths. Try to relax the muscles right up at the top of the shoulders where they meet your neck. Those are called your trapezius muscles. We're trying to relax the trapezius. Good. And then as you walk your feet forward to a forward fold, your head will naturally come off of the block. That's okay. So you've walked your feet up to the front of your mat. Your feet are about hip distance apart. We're in a forward fold. And we're again going to put our head on the block. This time it's going to be on the very top of the head. So not the place between the eyebrows, not the hairline, but the very top of the crown of the head. And so as I bow my head, I'm going to try to get it to a block. Usually it's not going to get onto one. So I have to stack 2 blocks up. I'm stacking 2 blocks up to get my top of the head to the block. You could put them on any height, however stiff or limber you are. You customize your blocks so that the top of your head gets to the blocks and then fingertips are on the floor to support you. You can keep adjusting until you find the right spot. It's a little maybe awkward or cumbersome at first, but putting pressure on these different points of the skull can help relieve a headache. It can relieve stress and tension. It can relieve sinus pressure. So lots of benefits here to putting a little, just a gentle kind of pressure points in various places in the skull. Keep breathing deep in and out through the nose. Now release your knees back down to the floor and take a child's pose with your forehead on a low block. So instead of the medium height of block, we've lowered the block, forehead to the low block. And then coming forward onto all fours with no blocks. So another way to put pressure on the very top of your head is a headstand. And headstands are also known for relieving headaches. Surprisingly enough, you might think that's going to give me a headache, but putting the pressure on the head like that in a headstand, and then of course, subsequently, we're going to come out of that pose. And so that subsequent release sometimes can produce really good results for headache and sinus pressure and allergy and tension headaches. So we'll give it a try. Let's just do a headstand preparation at first. So we'll interlace our fingers on the ground. The knuckles are interlaced with the elbows down, and we'll cup the back of our head so that the crown of the head, the very top of the head, is on the floor. The top of the head's on the floor, and we're embracing with our hands around the back of the head, and we'll just lift up to down dog. So that's the headstand prep, headstand preparation. And that might be enough for you. You could even lift one leg, put it down, lift the other one leg, put it down, and rest. Child's pose with no blocks. Classic child's pose. And then we'll come back up onto our elbows. So we're using our yoga as medicine today. We're doing certain poses to heal our body or to produce a certain result, right? Like freedom from headache pain, freedom from neck and shoulder tension. So I say that because sometimes we treat headstands like a balance challenge, like let me try it in the middle of the room, let's see if I can get it, and then maybe we would like tumble over or risk like falling over. So I don't want you to risk that. So if you need to turn your mat in your house and face a wall, do that. Turn your mat to face a wall so that you can do a full headstand, because we're trying just to be on our head. We're not trying to tumble over or work on balance, or you know what I mean? So interlace your hands, tuck your head into your hands. If you need to be at a wall, do it at a wall. Lift up into your headstand prep. Maybe this is as far as you go, or maybe you lift one leg. So if you're able to lift the other leg, probably against a wall, then you can do a full headstand. But no tumbling today. Don't do it in the middle of the room and do a somersault, right? While you're upside down, take 3 breaths. And then come down and rest. Child's pose. Relax your shoulders, relax your head. Notice if you can feel any immediate difference to your head area, the headache, the sinuses, the forehead, the nose, the nostrils, the breathing. Has anything been affected? Lift up to down dog with no blocks, regular, classic down dog. Try to relax what we call our trapezius muscles. Relax those muscles that pinch right up on your shoulders. Don't do the pinching on the shoulders. So relax the shoulders, but press through the arms. Press through the legs. And keep breathing through the nose. Then walk your feet up to the front of your mat and take a forward fold without the blocks, regular forward fold, touching the floor. If you need to bend your knees in order to touch the floor, that's okay too. Good. And then crouch down all the way to sitting. And extend the left leg out in front of you. Right foot against the thigh. As we take our forward fold, again, we're going to bring our head onto 1 or 2 blocks, depending on the height that's right for you. So I'm going to bow all the way over. My block is inside of my leg, and I'm going to try to bow my forehead onto that block. So if I'm not very limber, the blocks might need to come closer to me, and I could stack 2 of them up, right? So I could be here, slightly moving it. As you're ready, you're going to adjust your blocks until you can get them to a good height that accommodates you. The cool thing about supporting your head on a block is that it lets the upper body rest more. So you're having to use the upper back muscles less because the block is holding the weight of your head. I don't know if you've heard, but your head weighs 10 to 12 pounds. So your muscles are always working. When you're upright, when you're holding your body, you're always having to use those upper back and neck muscles. So resting your head on a block can be really therapeutic, especially for headaches, tension headaches, shoulder tension, all of that. Come sitting up and do that again with your other leg. Remembering that you don't have to strain to get to the blocks. You should bow naturally, wherever your body naturally would bow over, and then you move the block to where you are, and you adjust the height of the block to suit your needs. So you shouldn't be straining down to get to the blocks. If you need to stack 2 blocks up, that's fine. Good, sitting back up. One more time now with 2 straight legs. So I keep the block tucked between my calves or between my knees, wherever I'm going to be able to reach it with my head bowing over. You can stack up 2 blocks. You can adjust the height of the block, go lower, go higher. For me, as I relax into the pose, once I've got my head resting, sometimes it's not that I'm going to lower the block down, but as I relax into it, I might slide the blocks more forward. It's almost like my spine kind of lengthens after a few breaths in the pose. See if that's true for you. Good. Walk your hand back up. We'll do a few rounds of twists, which can also really benefit that upper body, the neck, the shoulders, headache region. So let's do a couple of twists. First, I'm going to bend both knees and kind of stagger them over to one side. So your feet go over to one side and then you put your hands over the other way. Sometimes people get confused when I describe this twist, but and just imagine kind of like this is your mermaid tail. Your legs are your mermaid tail. So your tail goes over one side and you twist the other way. You should be looking away from your feet. If you can see your feet, you're twisting the wrong way. So stand up on your fingers, give yourself some extra height. Feel the length in your side body, in your waist. Rise up through the chest, lengthen your neck, get a little bit like a ballerina neck. Then turn your chin over the back shoulder. Good, come back to center. Swing your mermaid tail over to the other side. And twist again, up on fingertips. Lift through the whole length of your spine. Lengthen your side body, your waist. Lengthen your neck. And then turn your chin over your back shoulder. Good, come back to center. Extend your left leg straight ahead and stack your right foot flat on the floor down in front of you so your right knee comes up into your chest and you can hug your knee and sit up a little extra tall. Flex your front foot so those toes aim upwards to the sky and then we'll twist. So keep hugging your knee with your left arm and spin your right fingers out behind you, turning your head to look towards the right shoulder. Keep pulling your front knee towards you, the bent knee, keep kind of hugging it, embracing it towards you. So you're twisting from the lower back, then twist from the ribs, the upper back, the chest, then lengthen the neck, and turn your chin. Come back to center, and we'll twist the other direction. Some of the books on yoga even describe in a twist how you're not just twisting lower back, upper back, even the chin. They even talk about the eyeballs. So I'll mention that on this side too. First, hug your knee, sit up tall. And then hug the knee just with your right arm, bringing the left fingers out back behind you to twist towards the left. So they talk about twisting your lower back, upper back, chest, chin, and then they even say turn your eyeballs to look extremely to the left. So you're even kind of like using your eye muscles and the eyeballs to twist. But it's all connected, right, to what's going on in your head. Your headache could be related to eye fatigue, computer strain, right? It's all related. So yoga even addresses what your eyeballs are doing. Good, come back to center. Weird, right? Yoga's weird, but effective. And now sit cross-legged. I'm gonna take one block under my hips. Sitting up cross-legged with my best posture. When we're talking about neck, upper back, upper shoulder, headache stuff, this whole region, this is very associated with your posture. So anytime you're slumping, we've got what we call tech neck, where you're bowing your head towards your screen. This is going to give us prone to shoulder tension, shoulder aches, neck aches, upper back, headaches, right? So if we can correct our posture, roll the shoulders back, move your head back so it stands on top of the rest of your spine. If we can correct our posture, we might correct some of that discomfort that we've found ourselves in. Now close your eyes with this optimal posture that you found and make prayer pose at the heart. With the eyes closed, really let the eyeballs and the eyeball muscles that we were talking about, let it all relax. Have a soft face. Soften your belly. Soften your jaw and the palate of the roof of your mouth. Then move that prayer pose up to the center of the forehead where we put our block at one point. Maybe you turn your eyes to look upwards towards that point between your eyebrows. Even though the eyes are closed, we can still look kind of inward and up towards what we call our third eye in yoga, symbolic center of the forehead. And put your prayer pose on top of the crown of your head like a headstand. So your prayer pose is where your headstand would go, on the very tippy crown of the head. And then blast up, prayer pose up in the air the way we would do it if we were in tree pose maybe, or warrior one. We lift our prayer pose up. Feel freedom throughout the neck. Soften the shoulders away from the neck. Reach up. And then release your prayer pose back down to the heart. Open the eyes again. Take your block out from your seated position. And we'll lay down with the block under the nape of our neck. I'm going to bring both blocks down with me just so I have them so I can reach them if I need them. So I'm going to put the block under the nape of my neck on its medium height. So it's not flat down, it's turned one notch up under the nape of my neck, and then I'll rest my body out in a Shavasana. So if the block is really cutting in or digging into my neck, I'll just move it until I'm comfortable. Tuck the shoulders under. It's kind of like you're putting your neck in a gentle traction. So the chin is tucked and the back of the neck, the skull is kind of being lengthened and pulled outwards. And this might feel pretty good. Feels good to me. On top of this, we can roll our head to the right and to the left to kind of put pressure and rub on those neck muscles. Right at the what we call the occipital ridge, the base of your skull, right where it meets your neck. You can rub right and rub left. Relax the lower jaw. Did you know there are muscles that connect the jaw to the neck? So when you talk about a tension headache or neck pain, shoulder pain, that is all also related to your jaw. Sometimes we don't realize how much tension and muscular energy actually resides in the jaw. So go slack jawed when you're doing this. Relax your tongue. Your tongue is a muscle. Relax the tongue, the jaw, the throat, the neck. You might even breathe out through your mouth once or twice. Good job. And then take the block out of the way and lay your block down by the side of your right thigh. So the block is on its medium height still, and it's running lengthwise down by your right thigh. And then you're going to hug your left knee in. Hug the left knee into your chest. Lengthen your skull again. While you're laying on the floor, tuck your chin down a little to lengthen the base of the skull, lengthen the back of the neck. Take a breath here. This is a nice one for runner's legs to get into the hip joints. You might feel a little in your hips there. And then take your leg across you to a twist. And we want this block to hold our shin up. So if I just have the block under my knee, it's like my foot would hang down lower than my knee, right? So I want the block under my whole shin, and that way my knee and foot are at the same height as each other. This is more correct alignment. Keep your right hand on your leg, pulling down against the block, and open your left arm off to the side in your twist. Turn your head to the left. Our bodies are so interconnected, and so sometimes our body will present a certain ailment or sensation, like, oh, I feel a headache up in my head. And yet the body is so interconnected that the roots of that headache could be all the way down here at the lower back or the hip. And the tension from our lower back and our hip affects our mid back and our upper back and our shoulders and our neck, and pretty soon our head hurts. But sometimes the solution isn't just our head, it's addressing the whole interrelated body. And that's why I love yoga so much, because yoga addresses the whole, right? We do yoga for our whole body, even for our breath, even for our emotional, energetic, mental being, right? Yoga meets us as a whole being. Take another great deep breath here. Good. Come back to center. Set up your block over on the other side, down near your left thigh, and hug your right knee into the chest. Get into the hips a little when you really squeeze. See if you can feel it in your hips. It's like I'm resisting it. So I hug with my arms, but I'm kind of pushing my hip away from me in resistance. And that's what makes it dynamic for me. It gets deeper into my hip that way. And then take this leg across you until your shin is supported by the block. Remember, we want our knee and foot at about the same height as each other. Keep your left hand on your leg to give it gentle support, pushing down against the block and opening your right arm off to the side. Turning your head to the right. I tell you, I did not have a headache or any particular, bothersome shoulder tension today. But after doing these poses, I feel great right now. I can feel a difference in my body. So I'm hoping maybe you feel the same, whether you were the person with the headache or not. I'm really feeling a difference. My neck feels different. My jaw feels different. My breath feels different. Good. Come back to center and let's try it one more time, straight-legged style. So again, we'll put our block back over to the first side, so over on our right side, but I'm going to stand my block on its highest height, okay? Raise your left leg up straight this time and bring your straight leg over to the block. So you move the block to where your foot's going to land. So bring it all the way up. I've got my block under my kind of foot and ankle area. So move the block until it's just right on its highest height under your foot or ankle, and then use your right hand to hold that top leg in place. We don't want to just kind of rest here passively. We want a little bit of active tension. So hold down with your right hand against the leg and open the left arm off to the side to twist, straight-legged style. This is another one that's really great for hips and legs. That's right where I feel it, is in my outer hip, outer thigh. If you're not feeling that, press through the legs even a little straighter, even a little more brightly, so you feel a great stretch. It's a spinal twist and a leg stretch and a hip stretch. Take that twist all the way to the upper back. Twist the shoulders, the neck, relax the jaw and the tongue so that we benefit our headache, our tension headache, whatever's going on there in the head. Deep belly breathing. Good. Release and tip over your block to the other side, the last side. So the block goes on its high level over on the left side. We'll lift our right leg up straight and take the right leg over onto the block. So the block is holding up our foot or ankle. Hold your left hand down onto that leg and open yourself out into a twist, looking towards your right arm. So if you're a runner, a walker, a cross trainer where yoga isn't the only fitness you do, maybe this is a great stretch for hips and legs. See if that's where you can really feel it. This is such a good one for me. After I've done a workout, if I've done a run or a long walk or some weightlifting, to stretch out hips and legs. But it's also great as a spinal twist, right? Feel it all the way up to the neck, the skull, upper back. Total body pose. Remember, we're doing yoga for our whole body, even the breath. Good, and come back to center. So some of you guys have mentioned that you don't have room at the wall, and that's okay. We're going to come into Shavasana here. So Shavasana option 1 is the classic laying on your back, mode of Shavasana. If you have access to your wall, since maybe we used it today for our headstand, if you want to do legs up the wall, I also highly recommend this, specifically for headaches, shoulder tension, neck tension, all of that stuff. So in my own personal life, if I'm suffering from a headache or shoulder tension, this might be the only pose I do. I might not even do 45 minutes of yoga. I might just do 4 minutes of yoga and just do legs up the wall. When my kids come to me with headaches or neck tension, neck pain, upper back stuff, I tell them, have you done legs up the wall today? True story. So this is definitely one that I recommend, especially if you're telling me you have a headache or neck pain, shoulder pain. So go ahead and rest now, everybody. Either lay down flat on your back, Shavasana, or lay here, legs up the wall. Your choice. Settle in, close the eyes. Relax the mouth, tongue, neck, and jaw. Relax your chest and your belly. Relax your hips and thighs. And then let's move our legs into a butterfly position. Whether you're on the wall or flat on your back, let your feet tuck in towards the groins for butterfly position. Another great gentle leg stretch, gentle hip release. Great for runner's legs. Let the lower back and the hips release with gravity in this stretch. And then release your body over to one side. Let's fold one knee on top of the other knee. So we come to laying on our side and rest your head on your arm, or you can even grab a block as a pillow and rest your head on a block pillow. So you're resting on your side for a moment. Especially when we have a headache or tension, we just want to make the transition back to sitting and back to our regular lives. We want to make that transition really gentle and soft. Sometimes while I'm laying here, I'll just let my eyes open and I start to take in my surroundings without moving yet, just to kind of feel like, okay, I'm getting ready to enter back into the real world, but I'm going to keep this softness, this yoga, I'm going to keep it with me. We'll come up to sitting really gently. Maybe you'd like to sit on your block one more time to encourage your optimal posture. Right. So there's one more breathing technique I'll share with you before we close, which is breathing in through the nose and then blowing through pursed lips. And they say that just 3 to 5 of these breaths has the power to trigger your parasympathetic nervous system, which is your body's relaxation response. So if you're having a tension headache or migraine or shoulder tension due to stress, cortisol, adrenaline, that kind of, like deadlines and aggravation, this type of breathing might directly go to your nervous system and help you relax. So we'll breathe in through the nose, and then purse your lips and blow slowly out. 4 more of those breaths. One more breath, the last one. Prayer pose at your heart. I hope you're feeling better. Bow the head to the heart. Namaste. Good work today, guys.